Local neighborhood is coming together to try to address a string of reported burglaries in a meeting that gets underway later tonight.
As we've reported, police say these break-ins have happened in Green Bay's Colburn, Marquette Park, and Old Norwood neighborhoods on the city's southwest side. Emily Riley joins us live to preview what neighbors can expect to hear at this meeting tonight. Emily.
Cami, I'm outside of Burkle's one block over where the meeting will take place tonight at 6:30. This coming after police began investigating a 7th reported burglary on the city's southwest side. Since early December, these break-ins have affected 3 neighborhoods on the southwest side. We have them plotted out on your screen here. Investigators say the burglars broke in through a back door or basement windows. Electronics, clothes, and money are just a few of the stolen belongings. Police are encouraging neighbors to be vigilant and to take precaution. Police say neighbors can take steps to protect themselves from a break-in, such as installing outdoor floodlights, setting up a security camera, locking doors, locking windows, and keeping a light on when you're away from home.
Communication is always key, right? I mean, so the more information, the more discussions we can have around the topic, it keeps it top of mind so that we can be looking out for our neighbors, but also remembering, hey, did I lock my back door? Does it look like I'm gone for a week? Those proactive things that maybe we know, but aren't necessarily top of mind.
The president of the Old Norwood Association says tonight's meeting will be a chance for people to get tips and also ask questions on how they can prevent a break-in. Live in Green Bay, Emily Riley, Action 2 News.